And inside this rust and feces-filled drain, we can see a Washington, D.C. politician in the larval stage of its life cycle. You can see the tiny worm-like tentacles reaching for a handout for what will eventually be taxpayer dollars.
He forgot the part about the little babies and the blood-sucking part, but we'll tell you more about that in a little bit. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke Rudowski here of We Are Change.org, and there's a lot of just absolutely wild and bewildering news to get into today. As, of course, we have a lot of crazy domestic news, especially with Chinese people coming into the United States. The Chinese government has some very interesting things to say to us, which Joe Biden responded just like he thought he would, as of course there's a new offensive now unfolding in Lebanon. What in the world is going on there as the U.S. is becoming more and more entangled in foreign conflicts that, of course, there's no way of getting out of them because we are ruled by parasites. And that's why we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was made by the extremely talented Deffrmemes. If you're not following Deffrmemes, what are you doing? We, of course, will be linking his work down in the description below. He is a meme master, a meme genius, and someone truly fighting on the front lines of an information war with humor, with comedy that is more important than ever. So check out and subscribe to Deffrmemes, as of course the politicians that he showed to you in their early lava stages also like to sell you out to the Chi-Coms, as of course we got the latest news from Bill Melugin and Fox News that according to their border control official sources told them that over 20,000 plus Chinese individuals have crossed into the United States illegally and were encountered by Border Patrol. And again, this is the number of people who actually were encountered. The people who weren't encountered, probably a lot higher, as that's over a 4,000% increase since 2021, as it looks like the Chinese government and the Chinese people are taking advantage of this to the point where here in the United States, a Chinese non-U.S. citizen was just appointed to the San Francisco Election Commission. Yes, you heard that correctly. An immigrant from Hong Kong just became the first ever non-U.S. citizen appointed to the San Francisco Election Committee, and allegedly speaking in Cantonese during her victory speech. This as the Chinese Public Security Minister literally just came out and is urging the United States to stop harassing its students on the border for, quote, no reason. Yes, you heard that correctly. Wang Zhihong, after talks with U.S. Homeland Security Chief in Vienna, came out and said that the United States must now ensure fair treatment and full dignity for Chinese citizens who, according to him, have been extensively questioned on the U.S. border. This, as of course many Chinese and American citizens have been caught committing espionage for the Chinese government, literally selling our top secrets, including information related to the engineering of viruses, to China. And the response from the Chinese, especially when their citizens are walking through our border more than ever, is, hey, you better stop asking our Chinese citizens any questions here. This, as according to many political and energy experts, Joe Biden and his green energy policy plans are set to, of course, predominantly benefit China, as it's also important to note here that the Bidens do have a very cozy relationship with a lot of Chinese businesses that are connected to the Chinese government, as of course there's nothing to see here, as of course the policies that shoot America in the foot predominantly help out China are none of your concerns, peasant, as of course your tax dollars are sucked away from you in order to make sure that illegal aliens coming into this country that are going to be future Democratic voters have luxury tax-funded meals, healthcare, and housing. This is a report from Boston, highlighting a situation that is unfolding all throughout the United States, especially in places like California and New York.
Hotels are collecting money from the state for 3 meals a day, $16 for breakfast, $17 for lunch, and $31 for dinner. That means $64 a day per person. The state's right to shelter law requires it provide families with refrigeration and basic cooking facilities. But some of the accommodations do not have those appliances, leaving the state to contract out for food and delivery. Citing the emergency nature of the crisis, the state gave Spinelli Ravioli Manufacturing Company in East Boston a $10 million 6-month no-bid contract to provide meals and delivery.
And where is all that money coming from? You, of course, the taxpayer that with state, local, and federal funds are literally being diverted and sent to individuals who are told and incentivized to come here into the United States. Now, why are we paying for all these people? Why are we spending so much money, as there's even a recent decision made by New York that will now make thousands of migrants eligible for cash payments? Why are they doing this? Well, this is the bankrupting, this is the looting, this is the destruction from within of the United States, of its sovereignty, of its freedom, of its finances and hegemony, as of course questions around the US dollar, its debt, is something that of course is on everyone's mind, as of course the cost of living is going up dramatically, mainly because of these larger immigration problems, these no-bid contracts, this reckless spending by governments that, of course, will be soon coming to you and asking you for more of your money that you actually worked for. This, as some individuals like Joe Rogan took to their extremely popular podcast to raise some specific concerns about this, recently saying this on one of his latest episodes.
I was watching this YouTube video, what's happening in these hotels. This one guy's been there for 7 months. And he said they give him a nice hotel. It's a nice room. He said it's real clean. They give him breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. And he's an illegal immigrant. Yeah. And then there's people that are poor. They're like, hey, what about my family? What about me? What about us Americans that live here, have always been here, born and raised here? And people just sneak in, and you're giving them all these things you won't give us.
Yeah, and how is that fair to all the veterans out there, to all the homeless people out there, to all the individuals who desperately do need help? That, of course, never got it, never will, but people who walk into this country illegally are. What's really going on here? As, of course, Joe Rogan also questioned how illegal migrants came into New York City, beat up police officers, and were literally released without bail, as they were shown flipping off the cameras as they left the courthouse, as citizens of New York City, who, of course, defend themselves, are fully prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But an illegal immigrant, a migrant, they somehow have more rights than the average American citizen. They get to get away with more crime. They get to, of course, get more handouts. And what is really going on here? Well, there's a larger demoralization plan and a plan to have the Democrats in power forever. It's clear as day, and it gets a little bit more sinister. That, of course, is what we are going to be discussing later on today, right after this video on LukeUnfiltered.com. As, of course, there's a lot of different things that I want to connect the dots on that I can't on this particular platform. This is why we created our own platform. That platform is, of course, LukeUnfiltered.com. The link to it is in the description below. Click on it right now, and there's many ways to participate and be a part of this independent media organization for $8 a month, $15 a month, or if you have the money, $99 a month. Your support is more crucial than ever to the sustainability of this independent media organization, and we offer you a lot of incredible offers of value for, of course, your support. This, as of course, members get the ability to call in to our live show, as we did a really great show last night with Josie, the redheaded libertarian, Ryan Black, as of course this week, including even today, we're going to have some really awesome shows. As of course, we have Alex Brusewitz in studio, we have Morgan, we have the Don't Tase Me Bro, Andrew Meyer, all in studio, where you, as a member of LukeUnfiltered.com, get the ability to call in and be a part of the show. Last night's caller gave us a video to review. We reviewed it. It was an awesome part of the conversation that you guys get to participate in. You guys get to ask whatever you want through your memberships on lukeunfiltered.com. You're also going to get a special report right after this one and a plethora of incredible offers of value that are only available for members of lukeunfiltered.com. As of course, we are also going to be doing a members only meetup soon here in Fort Lauderdale. You could be a part of that, plus a lot more, all just by simply signing up right now on lukeunfiltered.com, and I will see you there right after this video. As of course, there's a lot to talk about internationally that's happening right now. As of course, a U.S.-owned cargo ship was just hit by a missile outside of Yemen, a day after Houthi rebels just blasted a British vessel in the Red Sea, which is becoming a very dangerous place to travel through, as of course cargo ships have been directly under attack by Yemenis forces, which the United States and British government have been bombing and attacking. This, as one of the most important trade routes in the world, has been blocked off because of this ongoing conflict that originally sparked up mainly because of the conflict inside of Israel. This, as just moments ago, Israel escalated the war with Hezbollah and decided to strike some very significant targets inside of Lebanese territory, which according to the Lebanese government directly went after a concrete and oil facility, as Israel is stating that they targeted a quote weapons storage facility themselves. Now, how will Hezbollah, of course, respond here to all of this? This, as the Israeli government just set the date for another offensive inside of Palestine that is promising to unleash an onslaught against the Palestinians unless all of their hostages are released. This, as some 1.2 million people are already taking shelter in huge tent encampments in Rafah, as now the Israeli government is threatening to invade it at the start of Ramadan. This, as the Israeli government just released video showing a UN aid worker who was shot by Israeli forces. And there's been a lot of really horrible videos coming from this entire incident, including one of a Palestinian throwing rocks and a remote weapon system essentially decapitating and taking off one of his limbs, leaving to even individuals like Mike Cernovich to come out and say, quote, Israel is doing a lot of messed up stuff. It shouldn't be our problem. We have other issues. Let them do what they want. But funding this only incites terrorism to the United States and also summons negative karma, highlighting a concern for many Americans who are saying, why are we giving money to both of these parties here that are extensively using this money to, of course, blow themselves up? A sentiment that, of course, I would agree with, as internationally, the United States has gotten involved with a lot of really horrible conflicts and definitely made the situation worse for everyone in that region that they decided to get involved in, as perfectly represented by Hillary Clinton's Libya policy that now has literally brought back human slavery to the region and a failed state with massive sectarian violence. As she is now lecturing the world, including the former president of the United States, with how bad his policies are, as of course they are directly against her. And now she's coming out and claiming that Trump will somehow withdraw from NATO if he is elected, a claim that of course is not substantiated in any way. This, as of course a lot of the Western media is still focusing on Alexei Navalny. This, as of course the United States has their own kind of political prisoners that the corporate media doesn't really like to talk about, including Julian Assange, who, of course, is at the end of his long fight to stay out of the United States. As, of course, under the Trump administration, he was charged and has been fighting the extradition charges to have him sent here back to the United States to face alleged espionage charges for doing what the corporate media should be doing. And that, of course, is reporting on facts, news, and information that powerful people did not want them to know. And I don't care if it's Alexei Navalny, I don't care if it's Julian Assange, no one should be silenced for expressing political thoughts and expression. It's that simple, and yet it's that complicated for so many people out there. I don't think it is. And again, if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. I think these conversations, these topics are more important than ever. We, of course, are going to be continuing them right now on lukeunfiltered.com. 6 p.m. Eastern, we're doing a podcast. See you there. All here on, of course, wearechange.org. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys watching and sharing this video, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. See you right now on lukeunfiltered.com.